Hey guys, TNT King here. This is a very different video. First of all, you're probably reading the title and saying, room for improvement, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you. Also, this is part 2 of my Christmas countdown, so I'm just going to quickly do something, prepare. There we go, I changed the position, and I got a hat on. So, yeah, room for improvement. So, recently, Playmates has released Wave 2 of their GXK toy line, and they have some really cool new toys such as a Mothra and just some really good characters. But that got me thinking, what if they can improve? So I've actually compiled some a little list in my head of things that I want Playmates to do. So Playmates, if you're watching this, please take my advice. So firstly, for a Playmates toy, I would like it if they reissued King Ghidorah. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you, this, it is a bit, it's missing some pieces, but this does not strike me as King Ghidorah. It just, there's barely any articulation. He has ball joints at the head, swivel joint at the, no wing articulation, which is like his main attribute, and tail articulation and leg swivel. That's it. No more, no less. So I think what would be a really good idea is to go off of the Drown Viper idea with the different separate ball joints, same with Tiamat, in the head, so he has a more wide range of articulation and wing movement, perhaps on ball joints, and they can use a sort of a flexible card, either fabric or plastic, to give that winged look that Ghidorah so deserves. Let me just quickly sort this out. And finally, scale him up, because Ghidorah was bigger than Godzilla in the film, so it would be very logical. They did it for They did it for Shimo. They made a massive version which scales better to the film than the original version. So perhaps they could, instead of just re-releasing it as like a completely upgraded version, at least make a bigger version of it to scale better. Now for the next one, which is a one that I really want them to do. We've seen characters like Mothra, Godzilla, even obscure characters like One Eye from the film that attacks Zuko. But we never saw Rodan. Playmates made a Rodan figure. Titan changes Rodan. Yeah, true, but who gives a heck about that? Look, Titan Changes Rodan was a step in the right direction because we got to see a MonsterVerse Rodan, but at the same time it was rubbish. I don't have it, but I've seen it and it's awful. They could have just went with a Rodan sculpt. So, taking inspiration from the Mothra figure, they could maybe make a Rodan, and I would really like that. That would be pretty cool. Another figure which I want to see in the MonsterVerse is Scylla, because we see Tiamat, we just haven't seen Scylla. Because come on, we want to recreate that bit where Godzilla, but like Scylla into mustard. People just want to. I can imagine a kid buying a Scylla toy. They're like playing with it. Then to do the scene where he explodes because Godzilla atomic breathed his face, they just grab some mustard, splash it all over the place, and like, Tiamat's dead. So yeah, and I actually want to see a reissue of Godzilla and King Kong, and I'll tell you why. Now, I don't have a problem with the designs for King Kong and Godzilla, but there's just a few nitpicks I have. For one, they don't have that much articulation. Sure, Kong, for the time, was the most articulated Playmates King Kong figure out there. But then that was quickly surpassed by Scar King, who had waist articulation, and so they could not have done that before. Same could be said about Godzilla. They could maybe get rid of the battle damage feature and instead just opt for a waist movement, because he moves a lot. This is as solid as a brick. Now I get it, this is meant to be a toy. I know, but they do it for flipping Scar King, so why can't they do it for Godzilla and Monkey over here? Monkey. So here's what I would like Playmates to do for each figure. For one, I'd like to get a Kong with more head articulation to look up and down, since he does do that in his giant figure, which I may or may not get sometime to review, so stay tuned for that. And for Godzilla, same rules apply. Maybe add 2 small ball joints, like a dumbbell joint, into his head or neck so he can look around. Because the only bit of head articulation you can get with this is this. And I'm living in constant fear that it's going to snap. I sound like Monster Island buddies. And finally, I would like it if they add more arm articulation onto Kong, so he can pull off more dynamic poses, like beating his chest or running like a gorilla. Because he's a gorilla. He's a silverback primate that's around 100 stories tall. Make it happen! I suppose to wrap this video off, I should talk about some other MonsterVerse things which they could improve on. But first, this is Flaming Godzilla. Now, when they announced this, I thought, oh, okay, so it's just going to be this, but red. No, they make an entirely new sculpt, which I must admit is pretty cool. They really gotta make... Oh, sugar. Okay, take 2. They really gotta reissue this just as his original colours, but he's a brick, okay? It's a brick. Legit, the only articulation you get is head swivel, which is not common for Godzillas from this line, arm movement, leg movement, and feet movement, and tail movement. So, virtually identical, but he's fatter, and he has this constant look on his neck. Not to mention his battle damage looks like beef jerky. Oh, that does not taste very nice. So perhaps, since they literally made a repaint of Godzilla's evolved form, but more purple, they could just get this design and just slap some red on it. And it'll be fine. It'll be saved. Just like that. Also, I'm surprised that Playmates hasn't made any Godzilla -1 figures. It would be cool to see a -1 style Goji. Yet again, with the way their quality, I think I'll just let the off-brand brands do it. But other than that, there's definitely room for improvement in Playmates figures. After all, they do not only just make Godzilla vs. Kong figures, they also do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures for the new film that came out last year. And those figures are doing really well. I will have to do a review on them sometime and voice my opinions. But other than that, yes. I suppose whilst I am on the topic of figures, I should just quickly show this off, because there's something else I want Playmates to do. I want to get at a Kong figure with an actual articulating jaw, because it gets a bit frustrating doing stop motions, having him always roaring, and when I actually want him to do a roar, you just expect that he's going to roar. With this, you don't know what he's going to say. He might just say, ah! And then, yeah. Then this time, he's always just like, Ah! So yeah. Playmates, if you're watching this, please reissue some Godzilla vs. Kong characters. I'd also like to see a Mecha Godzilla with more articulation. That would be pretty cool. But other than that, that's it really. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm currently on 71 subscribers. Can we at least make it to 80 subscribers by the end of this year? That would be superior. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified about my future videos. Be sure to comment if you agree with my idea. On my ideas on what Playmates could do. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Monkey be dancing.